Today I'm going to show you why I think Dorico is the best notation software for classical guitarists. So let's get into it. But first, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It would really help support the channel. As far as music notation software goes, there have always been two major choices, Sibelius or Finale. But recently there are two other options that are really great as well, MuseScore and also Dorico. Now right off the bat, I just think Dorico is the best bet for classical guitar players specifically, but I will say it does cost a little bit of money, especially if you don't have an academic license or a crossgrade. So if you're on a budget, I definitely recommend MuseScore because it's free. It's open source, and if you pay the monthly subscription fee, you get access to all of their music library. By the way, this isn't a sponsored video. I'm not getting paid to say any of this. This is just my own opinion and experience with the products. As a composer, arranger, and an engraver, I've used Sibelius and Finale at length, and I've just never enjoyed either one of them, especially when it comes to classical guitar. I've always found that offerings from Finale and Sibelius, while feature-rich, for the average user are just extremely cumbersome. It's more annoying to use the program than it is to just pull out a pen and paper and make your own arrangements. Which is kind of ridiculous because nobody would pull out a pen and paper when you have Microsoft Word. Now this isn't going to be a comprehensive review or tutorial on Dorico, but rather just a few of the key features that I've noticed a lot of classical guitarists don't know Dorico has that I think could really help your workflow. I've also been frustrated why these programs can't do just the most basic thing without making my notation look god-awful. I don't know how many times I've used Finale, put in my score, made one little change, and now the parts are wrecked, the score's messed up, the music is colliding for some reason. Why do the parts have to collide all the time? If I used Microsoft Word and I typed one word and hit the spacebar and my entire paragraph mapped on top of each other, that would be unacceptable. But for notation programs, that's just par for the course. So let's head over to the desk and check it out. So I prefer Dorico for three main reasons. One is fingerings, two is unlimited voices, and three is just Dorico's algorithm for dealing with collisions and just general engraving preferences. When I'm working with Dorico, I never really have to worry about the notes overlapping or the stems going crazy, or notes overlapping rests or bar lines. It's very easy. I can't tell you how many times I've been engraving something in Finale and I have two staves and the low E from one is going into the high E on the one right below it, and it's just a total mess. I've been using Dorico for a few years now, ever since version 1, and I've never had that happen. Once. I've even imported XMLs from Finale and Sibelius just to have the algorithm clean them up before I do anything else to them. So straight out of the box, it already looks just a little bit better. Now Dorico has the easiest system for popovers and fingerings that I've found so far, so let me show you a few examples. So this is an arrangement that I did for one of my students, the Rolling Stones song Paint It Black, and I've already engraved it, I've spaced it out kind of like I want it to, it's not completely finished, but I just want to quickly add some fingerings and show you how easy it can be. So I click on the note, and then on my keyboard I have Shift F, and then my left hand finger popover comes up. So it's an open E, so I'll have 0, and then I have my arrow key, so quickly go over to the next note, and then I can do finger 1, finger 2, finger 4, finger 2, finger 1, and you get the point. I can easily go through each one of these and add fingerings that are super intuitive, and to me at least, they look pretty nice. They're right next to the note head, they don't collide, they look fairly great. Now I'm gonna add right hand fingerings. So I'm just gonna go over again, have Shift F, and then instead of having left hand, I'm gonna go through and hit the up and down arrow, and I can toggle between my left hand and my right. So if I already have my left, I can go down to my right, and say I want to do like I and M for the whole piece or something like that. I can do I, M, I, M, I, M, I. This is not remotely how I would play this, but just to demonstrate, P, I, M, A, like that. And if you had arpeggios, this makes it so easy. In other notation softwares, sometimes you have to open an entire menu every time you want to add a single fingering. And even with shortcuts and then creating custom keys, it can be a real pain. But in Dorico, it's fairly easy and straightforward. And if I want to add string numbers, I'm just going to go over to playing techniques and then click on, say I want all of this on the first string, I can have first string. And you can see none of these notations collide. Now you might want to rearrange these a little bit later, and one awesome thing about Dorico is that it has separate modes for setup, writing, engraving. If you're engraving, you can do anything you want to the score without really messing it up. At least visually. You can mess it up visually, but you can't change notes and do like little accidentals and things. And then you have play, which controls MIDI, and then the print option is just amazing. That's something I wish the other ones definitely had. But you can see it's really easy. Now a quick bonus thing is for guitarists, a lot of times our scores look a little bit crazy. If you're like really heavily influenced by Shinastera or Dians or something like that, where you want to have unmeasured bars, in other software that can be a huge pain to overcome and find workarounds. Whereas Dorico, all I have to do is just delete the time signature. And if you're inputting notes, the default, which is a little bit strange, but the default is actually unmeasured. If I open a new document, it would just be a complete blank everything with one rest, and I could just compose as much as I want to, and then I can just later on come up here and just say, oh, I guess it's in 4/4, add 4/4, and it rebeams the entire thing, or rebars it. And that can be super handy too. It's also great with graphics. If you want to have just, crazy lines, or have stems bend, or you want to have special guitar techniques, harmonics, it's just so much easier to enter it in Dorico than it is on other softwares. So again, if you're happy with your software, that's great, but these are just a few of the reasons why I think you might consider at least trying Dorico. Alright, that's my time. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, or topics you want me to cover in future videos like this one, please leave them down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video.